Where is it at? Oh, forgot to set it up. Oh my goodness, look at this. That's crazy. Set it up. Hey, you guys. It's kind of late. It's about 10:20. I should be doing something else, but listen. I am on a channel and I've been listening to this guy. They, some number of years ago, they were refurbishing a mosque. And in the process of this, there's like a boarded up area where in between places was stuffed into these potato sacks all its writing. And it comes to find out that it's the oldest Bible written for the Quran. But it's in dispute because it doesn't sound like the one that they've got. And where it had, there's the way that their words work is, if there's a dot here and a dot there or something like that, the word can mean something totally different. And so I'm over here listening to it, and I'm going to let me minus this down so I can tell you where it is, so you can see if you want to listen to it yourself. This is Try Thinking Now. Is whoever this guy is. He has thousands of people listening to him, and this particular view has gotten over 885,000 views. It's got $2,000 2,000 dislikes and 7 something likes. But this is a discovery. It says the oldest Quran found has little similarity to the modern version. All right, so I'm going to pull you back up so I can see you. Is this where we go? Or did it turn you off? Maybe we're still here. Oh, I think we're all still here. Oh, it's in pause. Is it in pause? No, it's not. All right, well, anyways, it's something that because of, this guy has caught all kinds of shit. The man that actually did the translations of all these things found that underneath these words, like where there's like, you get this 70 versions, if you get a chance to, to commit some kind of murder, right, for God, or if you, whatever the idea of getting these virgins, all right, if you dot it another way, then what you get are a bunch of grapes. And in their drawings and in their liturgy, in our liturgy, it's grape. It's all about the grapes. And they have these people, these archangels. They're all receiving these dead souls, and the souls, their little souls in their hands are eating grapes, and they have lots of grapes on them. That's beautiful. What that's showing is that somewhere down the line, like in like one of these slow periods or something like that, they introduced a whole new Bible for them. All right. Now, I've had to put up with people saying that our Bible has been changed. No, they didn't. They just make new Bibles. When they make a new Bible, instead of thou shalt not lay with mankind as with womankind, it just comes out and says, man shall not sleep with a woman. All right. It just comes right out. And that is so wrong. It's just wrong. Not that, there's anything wrong with, a man laying with a man or what have you. But the whole behind the scenes saying that that's what it means, when thou is not a man, and it could be anybody. And the idea that mankind is not a man either. It's a creation. It's what mankind, which includes womankind. And what womankind represents is not a woman, but spirituality. Okay? That's all that means. That's the way it is. So if you change the meanings of those words, or you change those words altogether, then you miss what's underneath all of Scripture, from the thou to Christianity. All right. And where my problem was is, where is this code in the Quran? Why isn't it not in there? What's going on? It's a fake religion. Well, I've just found out that it's not a fake religion. At one time, its readings, and they say that he makes everything sound like the Bible, like Christianity. And this is a scholar. This is an Islamic scholar who is claiming, and you just need to watch this. I'm going to finish watching it too, but I'm all fired up. This idea that at one time, Islam and all of these faiths were one. They were all one. Everybody. This was all one. Everyone knew what everybody was talking about. Something happened, and all these people that knew all these things were killed or murdered and destroyed, and their words were changed. Everything was brought over new, and you weren't allowed to go and see anything else. You had to take everything by the letter. Like they said, don't go anywhere else. Don't even dare go inside, and then call it all a new age. Look at the shit we have to hook up with. Lies, lies, and lies. And what do we learn from this code? The truth. And the truth is unveiling all of these lies. And our Bible has not been tampered with. Neither has the Old Testament. Those are set. But the new guy in the bunch, the newest of them all, doesn't claim to be all that new at all, But their Bible does sound like a handwritten text that was, human inspired, and revenge inspired, and just rewrote everything. But this idea is that the Bible that they found, the oldest Bible, was written 60 years after this guy's death. All right. So of all of these people, these other people in our books aren't real. There was no Jesus. There's no death. And even though the Islamic faith shows that he never dies, well, what they're doing is they're saying that he never died for our sins. So, if you read the top of the book, and he's real and he shed his life for you, all right, that he was doing the bidding of his Father and he dies for you, then you can have salvation while you sit around for the rest of eternity waiting for his return, because he's not going to drink from the grapes until he meets with you again. He's going to hold off till then to drink from the grapes. There's no virgins up there. Everybody has grapes in their little worlds. Everyone is being, returned to the Spirit. That's what that is, So it's very comforting and discomforting to find that, this world is just really bent on really fucking everybody. Anybody, it's the way it is. And this revenge cult, they're not going to take being told that they've been going nuts all this time. But Christianity, they haven't been walking the way. When they tell you that it's a new age thing, that's what it was. And how about, the Islamic guy, not Islamic, I always do that. The Judaism, none of them are honoring their mother and father. So everyone is wrong. Everybody is reading off the top of their Bibles because they're supposed to, right? The whole world is supposed to be in this chaotic mess, But Islam, their entire underside of their Bible, which I'm sure the religious people didn't know. And when they wrote, they said, this will sound like the rest of these Bibles. The only thing is that they didn't contain the code. So that without the code, then they're like, they're like the Christian Sciences and stuff like that. They're like the Mormons. It's just all made up. And it was made up to serve a certain purpose, and that was to undermine Judaism and Christianity. That's it, This is the last prophet coming down to earth. That means the end of times can be any time now. How? Because there's this huge group of people out there that claiming to be the last prophet to come into town. Well, since you and I have gotten this little side here, we're actually prophets. We can come up and say, The world may end by those motherfuckers, but they certainly don't represent God. All right. But anyways, there was something happened. Something's reversed all of if Jesus had been around and his business was to be this, die for us and stuff like that. Well, that takes the code away. It means that, then you really do have to die. And we are waiting around for this guy. And he is real. He doesn't represent the Kundalini system. He doesn't represent the spiritual side of you and I. He doesn't represent the image. We don't have this image of him in us. And so much for what God has given us. They think that, the skin and whatever, No, we're given our brains. We're given consciousness from this business. So anyways, the code has set us free. And we now know, I know, and I want you to go and check that out. Those videos on, there was an old Islam. And they fit beautifully together with the Christian religion and with the Judaism. All right. It was all at one time. They were all one. And if I had those, if I could read them, I bet they have 1, 2, 3, because Judaism introduces us to this one monotheism. All right. And we can get a little bit of, the female part in that side. All right. So you get the makings of mother and father and stuff like that. You get Adam and Eve. All right. That's one. You're making God because they're together. But by the time by the time that part's over, you're separated. You've given yourself up. God's left the building. That's what it goes. Number 2 comes in. The second phase of this God is the way. How do you go about this? Although it was mentioned so many different ways, it's in your right hand, and Moses was shown how to do the way. But Jesus is going to come in. He's going to represent 2, God's creation. God's creation is going to be both you and him. And he's always talking about 2. He always sends people up by 2. He knows what this is talking about, and he talks about the way. So we have to honor mother and father. And how do we honor mother and father? By going the way. So what do you think Islamics, the 3, which would be all 3 together? Once you've gone through hell, it should be like, wow. It's like the end of the book. On ours is Revelations. And Revelations is like this takeover of yourself. Something else is trying to get you, and you're fighting back because you want your own self back. You want to be free. It's the same stories as with Moses. I want to set myself free. I want to get away from this. What's holding me back? Well, it's usually the bitch over there in the corner, that whore religion. She's the one. That's the business. That's the business side of spirituality. They preach that our bodies, our very selves, are hardwired inside for religion. So we have to connect outside. So it must be our fingers or something, in our eyes, in our pocketbooks, that connect up to religion outside. That's the business. All right. The works. All right. Find out all along that you can't get salvation from this outside world, that it tells you that once you learn and can read these scripts correctly, wow, salvation returns to you. And it was the very book that poisoned us. So what Islam has is nothing but poison. All right. And even if we had the old book, I bet it wouldn't sound so bad. It would probably be this idea of join the 3 together. It'd be the third one. It would be so beautiful. And I would love to read that book. I want to find out. I want to find this book. If you guys can help me find it, let's find it. Because, that's the only thing that we can say is you guys were just hooked. You guys, once they start tasting the blood, this is the wine of the whore. It's blood. Once you start tasting blood, it's not easy to get away from. All right. And those Christians, they taste blood too. They can't wait to be reaped. They can't wait. They use God's words as weapons. And they use the Bible as a shield. Oh, they love the blood. Big time blood. All right. And they say the reason why the Judaism people are doing this because they're not killing enough animals. They're not doing anything that they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be killing up a storm. Well, they're certainly killing up a storm in Islam. All right. I love you guys. This is just getting more and more interesting. Absolutely. But I love you guys. Take care. More Jesus stuff later, I promise.